Perfection is the enemy of progress. No matter how many times you tell yourself that you're going to get started, if you're looking for the perfect shoes, the perfect outfit, the perfect weather, you won't show up because you're waiting for the perfect environment. And the reality of life is that nothing will ever be perfect. So I know I suffer with this constantly, is that aiming for perfection because I want to do it the right way. If I can't do it right, then what's the point in doing it at all? Well, the point is doing it, because motivation does not come from wanting to. It does not come from your mood. It does not come from the circumstance. It just comes from actually doing it. And the more you show up, the more proud you're going to be, the more confident that you're going to be, and you constantly show up. So, for example, I've been working on doing some form of daily activity every single day. Getting to my 10,000 steps may be one goal that I have. I'm also working on going to the gym more. I'm working on being more physically active in some way, shape, or form. So this morning, I actually didn't go to the gym like I planned on going because I decided to stay up until like 12 o'clock last night. And I've been going to the gym at 4 a.m. So that just wasn't really going to work for me in order for me to get some level of sleep. So when I woke up this morning, I put on something motivational, I brushed my teeth, and I put my shoes on, and I went for a walk. Though it wasn't the intention that I set out for myself, that saying every day at 4 a.m., you will get out of bed and you will go to the gym and you will do this routine, regardless of which way I was going to do it. I was going to show up perfectly, so I was going to show up no later than 4:30 every single day. If I followed that initial plan and I said, okay, I'm going to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and if I don't wake up at 4 o'clock, then I'm not going to the gym, I wouldn't have just done anything at all today. And I probably would have felt kind of down about it, and that I would have been 3 days into not doing anything because, you didn't do it this day, and then the next day something else happens, because something's always going to get in the way of you showing up perfectly. You can easily go a week without doing the thing because the conditions weren't right. Stop waiting for the conditions to be perfect and just show up regardless. And showing up incrementally, showing up in these little tiny ways will add up much more than you showing up once really strongly and only doing it that one time because it felt really good and you're able to spend like the 2 hours that you planned on spending doing this activity. So instead of focusing on the big goal, instead of looking at this ideal circumstance, just appreciate what you have. You have the ability to show up for yourself. So today, for instance, for me, showing up this morning meant going for a walk around my neighborhood before I went to work, because I didn't give myself the appropriate sleep that I needed to be able to show up to the gym and go to work and still fully function, because I have kind of a longer night ahead of me today. Every Tuesday, I take care of my mental health, and I also have some business meetings that I take care of on Tuesdays. So that's not really going to work out for me. So I really needed to make some adjustments in my schedule. And that meant I'm not going to be able to travel to the gym, but there's like outside and there's beautiful stars. I was actually able to see like 4 planets that I'm not usually able to see. It was really clear. I saw a lot of stars. So in addition to having the walk, I was able to appreciate nature. But if I would have made the decision to say, well, if I can't go to the gym, then I'll just sleep in until whatever time and then I'll kind of roll out of bed, and I would have just started my day without purpose, and I would have started my day on the wrong foot, because my goal in the morning is to do something for myself. I'm a morning person. I would much rather get all of my work done in the morning, doing things that I enjoy first thing in the morning, even before sunrise, than I would after the sun sets, because I know that's just how I function, and I don't actually want to mess that up, even though I kind of did last night. Because the circadian rhythm is super important, and I know I'm super aligned to sunlight, and I need to lean into that rather than shying away from that, because that's what works for me. But hey, if you're a person that likes to stay up until 1 o'clock in the morning doing work or getting active at the gym, then feel free to do so. Everyone has their own way. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I'm just telling you to get started. Like, it's a suggestion because I know if you're anything like me, and I know a lot of people are, is that you just kind of show up half-heartedly, and you don't feel a win in showing up that way if you're looking for perfection. So instead of saying, hey, I'm going to do this perfectly, I'm just going to do this, and any level that you do it is a win. I'm going to repeat that again. Any way that you show up for yourself is a win, because you said you were going to do something and you did it. If you said you were going to go to the gym, and for instance, that was really important to you to get that muscle memory going, and you just showed up for 5 minutes, fantastic. For me, I said, I'm going to be physically active in some way, shape, or form. I'm going to show up for myself physically. That could be related to getting my steps. That could be relating to trying to hit a new goal at the gym. I'm going to do something that I know is more than my regular physical activity. So I did it. And the fact that I walked a mile this morning, enjoyed the stars, that's a win. If I would have only walked to like the cul-de-sac up the street, that still would have been a win, even if it would have only been a quarter of a mile, because I showed up with intention, with purpose for myself first thing in the morning. So I say not only don't worry about perfection, but also show up for yourself first. I know you've heard me say that in this video. If you've watched my other videos, I talk about resetting, and you reset for yourself. Because especially if other people expect you to show up in their lives, you need to show up for yourself first. If you are in the service industry, if you are a humanitarian, if you care for other people, if you are a parent, if you have anyone who looks up to you or looks to you for guidance and support, you have to take care of yourself first. And I say that because oftentimes the more people that look up to us and look to us for guidance, often the more we tend to neglect ourselves. And particularly if you work with children or if you have children, know that they're watching you, right? So I'm in the field of education, and I have a lot of teenagers that look to me for a sense of purpose, that look to me for guidance, that look to me for support. And I can show them that through my example to say, hey, everything in my life isn't perfect, but there's something that I'm working on. And if they see that I'm constantly working and trying to grow, and I'm showing up and I'm struggling through things that are difficult, and I'm coming out on the other side because I showed up, they can take that into their lives. But what message would we be sending children if we didn't show up for ourselves first? Well, we'd be sending them the message that you really don't matter that much once there's other people in your life, and you have to sacrifice everything, and your life is just going to be a chaotic mess, and you'll always be in the act of service. And well, there's nothing wrong with service. It's super important. It's a part of my core value set. I still know I have to show up for me. I still know that I matter in this life. So it's really important that you show that to kids young, and it's important that you show that to yourself. Some of us didn't have that modeled in our lives when we were young, to take care of ourselves, to rest. Maybe our parents didn't have that luxury, right, to have those moments to themselves. But if you have that space, whether it's a minute a day, whether it's an hour routine, carve out that time for yourself. In fact, actually do yourself a favor and write something in the comments below that say, this is one small step that I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to show up for myself today. Not tomorrow morning. Don't wait until 4 o'clock in the morning to say, hey, I'm going to do what Jasmine's doing. No, you show up for yourself now. What's one thing that you're going to commit to do today that's going to be a win for you? The goal of this video is to help you reset, to help you focus on what matters most, and you matter significantly, and you matter to me in this community. And if you stuck out this long, dude, I appreciate you so much. Please consider liking or following, subscribing, what have you. I have some other things in the description below. If you're interested on using some journals to learn how to reset, that's available for you. And I have a whole bunch of videos, so they're going to be some popping up right around now. All right. Thanks, guys.